that's supposed to be a wildcat, and it's about as close as I've ever been to her. So maybe she's getting used to us now. But anyways, how's she going today? So this will be another video for Double Strike. He's been doing some maintenance to his ATVs, and has been noticing a lot of, I don't know if you want to call it BS or like what the hell, you know, kind of deal. So, but I already got a mosquito biting me. I've only been 2 seconds. So apparently well, for one, his air filter is completely destroyed. Like, he's been, you know, he took his air filter out and stuff, and it's in real sad condition. Well, I'm surprised that I forgot to burn his rag. I'll have to remember to do that later. Well, I guess whatever happened to his filter, you know, I guess from over the years, it just kind of decided to fall apart and stuff, you know. And I'm really surprised that he didn't blow the engine up, because air filters are not supposed to be falling apart inside, you know, and you're not supposed to get them into your motor, so that, you know, causes problems. So, you probably most likely want to get a new filter. What you do is, if you want like a K&N filter, or if you just want like another stock Can-Am filter, that's what you got, I guess, is Can-Am machines. They're pretty good four-wheelers. I kind of wouldn't mind getting a Can-Am. I know an old buddy of mine, my first subscriber, you know, when I first joined YouTube, he wanted to get a four-wheeler, and he didn't know if he should get a Polaris or a Can-Am. He got a Can-Am, so, and I think it was in black too. It was actually a pretty nice machine, but I haven't heard from him in months. Well, it's been a couple of months. You know, I guess with, you know, being busy with work and everything. But you know, I think you know, what you do is you can talk to your dealer too. They would know stuff about air filters. But I think if you just go to, you know, K&N, I guess like KNN.com or whatever their website would be, you can look on there, and they should have a selection of filters, and they should have something that'll fit to your machine. I know I wouldn't mind upgrade my air filter too. I mean, I just got a stock Polaris air filter in mine. So, but I mean, is there really going to be like a difference in horsepower? You know, I mean, do you gain one or two horsepower? You know, I mean, maybe Can-Am filters are just, you know, they're probably just better than stock Polaris. So, but, you know, I don't really care. So I guess as long as it works, does its job, I'm alright with it. But, well, besides the air filter, he wants to do an oil change on his machines. And in the book, I guess from what the book tells him, he has to do it every 600 miles or whatever it is. So yeah, that's what you'd probably want. I think that's what you have to do it at. I don't know what it is for mine, but we'll look here in a minute because I got my book. You want to do whatever the book tells you. You can call the dealer too, and they will explain stuff to you too. But the thing is, Double Strike, I don't listen to the book. I do it I change my oil every July. You know, it's once a year that I do it. And by the time July rolls around, my oil is pretty black. So I probably should be changing it sooner. But I just do it every July, you know, because there's really you know, whatever. It don't really matter. So I just did Big Red's oil change not too long ago, and he should still have fresh oil in here. Another thing too, Double Strike, I recommend doing. Yeah, see how the stick's not black, so the oil's pretty good. I also recommend doing a flush. What a flush is, where, see now for Big Red, it takes 2 bottles, 2 quotes, or I can't say that word very well, but you know, about these size bottles right here. It takes 2 of those, and then of course then a brand new filter. What I recommend doing is getting 3 bottles. It's whatever the book tells you, whatever kind of oil you like to run. Now, see, in my book it says I can run either whatever Polaris recommends. Actually, I know what kind of oil I need. I forgot to grab the bottle, but I'll show you what I run in mine. And then it also says that you can just run any ordinary oil as long as it's still the same, whatever, you know. See, the thing is, my tiller takes this kind of oil, this, you know, like this kind right here, the SAE 30. But it doesn't matter on the brand. So this is just what I got, you know, this kind here. But you can run, you know, if John Deere makes that kind of oil, you can run John Deere oil if you want. You know, it doesn't matter on the brand, you know. It's just as long as that is the same SAE 30, you know, that's what my tiller needs to run. So, of course, for the tiller, I just get the cheap crap. Well, see, Big Red, see, that there is what I call cheap oil, you know. I mean, it's probably obviously good oil, but I don't want to run that kind of stuff through my machine, right? I don't care about the Husky, so I could go to, you know, the Husqvarna dealer and get their kind of oil, but since I don't, you know, I'm not going to keep the tiller forever anyway, it ain't going to matter, so I don't care what kind of oil I run through it. But Polaris says that I can run any other brand of oil, but as long as it's the same, I guess like thickness or whatever. It says that if I run the cheaper stuff, and I don't mean like it being like junk, but I mean it's just, you know, it's different from what I'm running. I'm running Polaris oil, which is the expensive stuff, but I'm just saying cheap as, you know, as a word. I'm not saying that it is cheap, you know, it's not junk, but I just don't want to run that. I want to run professional. I want to make sure I'm running the good stuff through my machines. The John Deere, I run nothing but John Deere engine oil and John Deere hydraulic oil. I don't change it. I don't mix it with other stuff. I keep it all legit, you know. I keep it all the same. Same with Big Red. I only run Polaris oil. I don't run nothing else. The only thing that I don't run in my machines would be like John Deere antifreeze. Like, I don't even think John Deere makes antifreeze. But that's the only thing I don't run. Like, I don't know if John Deere makes that stuff, but I'm just saying as an example that that's the only thing that's not in my machine is, you know, obviously John Deere or Polaris antifreeze. I think Polaris does make their own antifreeze, but I don't run it. Just because I know it's all the same. Of course, you know, so is oil, but I do what I think is right, and you can do whatever you think is right. If you want to run the company, like, you own a Can-Am, so, you know, if you don't want to run Can-Am oil, you don't have to. But I just like to do what I think is right, you know, and I want to run nothing but the best. So I run Polaris and John Deere oils. You know, see, another thing is too, I don't run John Deere grease. I don't run Polaris grease. I just use whatever the hardware has. You know, because I don't think I need it, you know. Greasing is not a big deal, you know. Engine oil is a big deal because your engines work harder than your suspension or your drive lines, you know. Well, your drive lines work just as hard, but, you know, on Big Red, I mainly only grease the A-arms. I don't really grease anything else. The drive lines are a bitch to get to, so I don't bother greasing them. So, but what I'm talking about, like a flush, is where you get 3 bottles of whatever kind of oil you want to run. In my case, it would be Polaris and John Deere oil. Because you don't want to run, like, say if you do want to run Can-Am oil, you shouldn't mix it with a cheaper kind, you know. Like, if you just want to use the cheap stuff for a flush, I don't think you really should be doing that because it might cross-mix them and then it might ruin the motor. I don't know. So, I guess as long as it's the same thing, it probably wouldn't hurt it, but just to be on the safe side. But what a flush does is, what you do is you drain the old shit out. Of course, my drain thing is underneath, way underneath, same with the filter. But this is the dipstick and the fill. So, as you see, the fill and the dipstick. So what you do is you take your dipstick out. You can just kind of like that, you know, or take it right out. Do not put your cap in or your underneath. See, mine's underneath. I don't know where the hell your drain hole is, but mine's underneath. Same with the filter. What you do is you let all the old shit come out, and then take a bottle, one bottle, or even just half of a bottle if you want. You don't have to run the whole bottle. What I would recommend doing is maybe just using like half of a bottle, so then that way, when you put the 2 new bottles in, then you have a little extra, you know, just in case you should run low. Then you can always just stab in that crap quick and get you to where you gotta go, right? But what you do is you just let the shit drain out, and then just pour in some new stuff, and that'll push whatever old oil is left inside. It'll push it out. Then you have a perfectly clean engine. You know, you're getting all the little metal bits out of your engine. See, when you buy an engine brand spanking new, what do you have to do? You got to go through your break-in period. If you don't go through your break-in period, you're going to blow your engine up. So that's, you know, that's kind of why I like to do my, you know, you should just do your break-in periods. But I haven't ever done a flush with Big Red or the tractor yet, just because I always forget to buy an extra bottle. But the tiller only took about, I don't know, I think it only took about half of this stuff. Well, a little over half. But my uncle said there would be enough for to do a flush, so we did a flush on the tiller. So the tiller's got, you know, of course, fresh oil, and it's been cleaned out good enough too, right? So, but, you know, that's just what maybe you should do, is just, you know, get an extra bottle and then do a flush. And that'll push all your old crap out and stuff too, right? The belt-wise, see, mine's got a belt back there from the engine to the tranny. I know that. I think that was like every 5,000 miles that has to be changed. But see, yours is probably the same way if it's belt driven, which I'm sure it is. Most ATVs are. Semi truck's taking off. Woo! It's making a lot of dust. Yeah. Giving her hell. Just shift those fucking gears, eh? Holy crap. Whatever. As long as it gets the hell out of here, I'm alright with it. So, but yeah, you know, it depends too on, like, you know, he says every 600 miles. I could look on my book. I don't know what it was. I think mine was probably about the same. But, I know, you know, it says for Polaris, I don't know if it'll be the same for Can-Am, but they say that if I run the cheap stuff, which is like the non-Polaris or non-John Deere stuff, I'll have to change it more often, which I don't know if that's true or not, but, you know, the hell with it. That was not the last time I changed the oil. Let's see here. Yeah, it's just, well, for Polaris oil, I can run, recommends the use of Polaris PS/4 Plus Performance 2W50 4-cycle or some, you know, kind of, that kind of oil, whatever. I'll go grab a bottle and I'll show you that too, but that's not going to, that's obviously going to be different from your machine, you know, so I think it was further back, but yeah, I already did the transmission oil, so get out of here, you fucking, I should have grabbed my freaking mosquito thingy again. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where the hell it said where, specs. It's got to be under the specs. Troubleshooting? No, we don't want troubleshooting. Big Red weighs about Looks like about 575 pounds. That's maximum weight. No, maybe he weighs, I don't know. Fuel capacity is 4.5 gallons. It's 5.5 for the just the XP models only. So trying to figure it out. I should say in the summer how often I should change it. Displacement is 850 cc's, which is about 70 horses. Can't remember where the hell it said that. I might have to cut you guys off just so I can find it. But I'm gonna have to go grab my mosquito thing. I didn't think the mosquitoes would be quite this freaking bad. But yeah, I don't know where the hell it said, but it said in here somewhere about when to how often to change it. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm gonna cut you guys off. I'm gonna go grab my mosquito thingy because the mosquitoes are bugging the shit out of me. And some guy on a bike. And I will figure out where the hell it said how often I should change the oil. It should be under the specs, but everything from John Deere or everything from Polaris is different, you know. So hang on a minute, guys. I'm gonna go find my shit. Hang on here. Alrighty, boys, welcome back. So I went and grabbed my mosquito thingy. So that's what I'll start pushing them away. This is the kind of oil I run in Big Red. This is what I get. But there's another kind I can run too, but this is just what I like to get. This is for 4-cycle engines, ATV, utility, and snow performance. 1, quart or whatever. Yeah. It performs pretty good in hot and cold conditions, you know. So, but they have, I think, even better oil out there. I was thinking about getting it, but it's for even extremer hot and cold situations. But I don't think I'm going to be in that kind of extreme situations that I need that kind of oil. So I think as long as we're in decent weather, I think we'll be alright with Big Red. You know, I mean, I had Big Red up and running in minus 40-degree weather. He's not happy about it, but he'll do it. And I forgot the key. I was going to show you how many miles I got on Big Red. Let me go grab the key again. Hang on. Okay, welcome back. So I had to go grab the key for Big Red. So we'll see how many miles is on Big Red. I think I got close to 3,000. Not quite sure. This is hours. I got 643.9 hours. So we'll switch over to miles. Yeah. Close to 3,000. I got let's see here. How do you read this damn thing? 2,717.4 hours. And there's supposed to be another trip too if you wanted to I guess switch just over to like Canadian miles, or whatever Canadians go for mileage. I don't know how they do it, but it's still set at mileage. I don't know what ODO is, but yeah. So I got almost 3,000 miles on Big Red, and Double Strike said he had about 1,900 on his. So you're not driving your Ford as much as I am. See, I don't think you're putting, extreme miles on your ATV like I am on. I mean, I got almost 3,000 miles on mine, so, But in the book, it says, I'll put this bolt through it so I would be able to mark it. It says down here, engine oil change. It says 1 month or every 500 miles or kilometers or whatever the hell Canadians, but for mileage, it's every 500 miles. Brake pad wear every 100 miles. I'm well way the hell over that. This is just maintenance too. Brake pad wear every 100 miles. I should have it checked. Battery every 200 hours or 200 miles. Demand drive fluid. I do that about every other year, or that's every 250 miles. Transmission oil every 250. I think I already did that. Transmission, I don't even think I've done that yet. General lubrication every 500 miles. These are just the checklist right here. Coolant, check your coolant daily. Your ADC fluid, check that daily. Power steering unit, if equipped, daily. Headlight, taillight, daily checks. Air filter, main, whatever, weekly. There's some other stuff here too. Throttle cable every 500 miles. I haven't checked that lately. Throttle body every 500 miles. Belt, drive belt is every 500 miles. Radiator every 1,000 miles. I think that's just for maintenance to check it, you know. Rear gear case every 1,000 miles. I already did all that last year. Engine mounts, I never checked those, but they said Shay to check them every 1,000 miles. Exhaust muffler pipe every 1,000 miles. That's all my exhaust parts are on the right side, so I can easily check that easily. You know, wiring every 1,000. Spark plug every 1,000. Clutches and drives every 1,000 miles. Brake fluid every 2,000 miles, or 3,000, whatever it is in Canadians. Headlight aim, adjust as needed, you know. So, a double strike has to do his every 600 miles. Mine's every 500 miles. I don't really think I put on 500 miles. Really over a year. I must, but I don't think I do because I don't know. I wasn't really keeping track. I should have been keeping track of it since day one, but I don't really give a damn how many miles I put on it. So I'm going to run until she blows. So you know that double strike. I'm going to run until she blows, and then I'll trade it in for something else. And then it can be Polaris' problem, but I don't think Big Red will break yet. But you know that you probably should do it by the book, but you probably really don't have to. As long as you do it once a year, I think you're pretty good. But if you put on 500 miles within, like, say, 3 days or a week of driving, you probably should change it. But, I mean, you would have to be a really, really extreme rider. Like, you'd have to be riding 24/7 to just put that many miles on, you know. So, but see, I don't drive Big Red 24/7. I drive maybe once a day, you know. I mean, it's just to the field and back. So, I honestly don't know how I put on almost 3,000 miles within, you know, like 4 years. I don't know how the hell I did it, but I did it. So, but I guess I did. So that's what's on there. So, but that's not a big deal. So I usually just keep an eye on my hours, you know, which I got almost 650 hours. So, but you know, whatever. So yeah, I mean, I do, but I only change my oils once a year. You know, I mean, by July she's pretty black, but you know, I usually don't run it any longer than that. But I know I know my one friend said too that he owns a Polaris Sportsman 500 HO. You know, a little bit smaller than this guy, but you know, I think it's got a cargo box on the back side. Or on the ass end, right? I think he was saying something too that the book tells him that he can change it about every 500 miles or something like that. But he says that he doesn't drive it. He doesn't drive it a lot. But for one, he says it's got a lot of miles on it. He claims he's got like I forget what he said, but I think I got more miles than him. So. But he says he doesn't really care what the book says. He just does it once a year anyway. So, you know, as long as you change it at least once a year, no matter how many miles you put on it, you know, you should be fine. You got to do the oil changes at least once a year. You know, and like if you only drive it once a week, you know, or something, you know, maybe just like a couple miles or something, I don't even see a reason why you would have to change it every year. You know, maybe every other year, you know. But I do mine every year because I drive him, you know, daily pretty much. I mean, he didn't go anywhere today, so he's just been sitting here all day, so. But tomorrow, I don't think he'll be going anywhere either, so. But, you know, whatever. So. But yeah, as long as you, you know. As long as you just do them once a year, or, you know, or so, you should be fine. And then the air filter is a joke. And for one thing, I don't know why the hell your air filter is underneath. Mine's underneath the seat, right up in here. You know, another thing is I don't get too is that he's got 1,900 miles on his. I don't know how long he's owned it, but his filter is completely just it's total. There's nothing left to it. So I'm like, really? I check air filters once a year. I don't know how often, you know. If you're in really dusty conditions, which I'm sure Double Strike is in pretty dusty conditions from when he mows his yard, you can see a lot of dust flying everywhere. In your kind of condition, you might want to check it maybe twice a year. Once in spring and then maybe once in fall. Then you should be good for the winter. I just check mine once a year because I'm not in super dusty conditions where I have to. So I don't bother with that. Same with the tractor. I only check that once a year or so. I forget what I know that for the John Deere tractor too, it said you could do it every so many hours. Yeah, I think it was like I think for the John Deere too, it said about every 500 hours or every 200 hours or whatever. I know for the John Deere tractor, it said that you can change it every like 200 or 500 hours. I can't remember. It was either one of those. But the thing is, see, I don't put that many hours on within that amount of time. Like, my tractor's got like 206 hours on it right now, and I only change the oil once a year in it. So, see, apparently in my kind of condition where I'm just mowing, you know, I don't really run it a lot, I probably could go 4 or 5 years without an oil change. I guess, apparently, from what the book's been telling me, but I don't risk it. You know, and another thing too is that when I have been changing the oil every year, it's been so black. That's usually a sign of oil that's, you know, past due for a changing. So, but apparently you can go longer than that, but I just don't like to do that. Plus it gets rid of, you know, like little bits and pieces of metal and a little bit of maybe like carbon buildup or what, you know, whatever. This is another thing I think you should do Double Strike is run, I've seen it done, I'm not sure what it does. Well, I actually know what it does. Run sea foam through the engines. There's a guy that owns the same tractor as you, and he ran sea foam through his. I guess it doesn't kill, it just gets rid of, like, you know, carbon buildup in the carburetors, I guess, and cleans pistons, I guess, or whatever. You know, just, you know, shit inside the engine that oil just can't get to, right? So I think maybe in your condition with your John Deere, maybe you should run some sea foam through it. The 4-wheelers, I don't think you have to because you only got about 1,900 miles on yours. I mean, Big Red probably could use it because, you know, he's got almost 3,000 miles, but I don't really need to. I think it'll be fine. Plus, I'm not in real dusty conditions either, so yeah. And I kind of forgot when I changed the oil in the tiller. I think it was only like a couple of months ago, so I guess I'll probably just change it in the spring every year. Plus, you know, with that tiller too, I put a lot of hours on it, so It runs. Hasn't ran a lot this month because it's been so rainy, but last year it was running quite a bit. And the oil, and of course, in that was pretty black too. You know, and with the air compressors, depending on how you run them, you have to change them like every 6-7 months or whatever, depending on how hard you run them. I don't run mine a lot, so I'll probably just do mine once a year or every other year, you know. So I don't really have to change the oils too much on that thing, but, you know, hey, whatever. So, but yeah, that's just how, you know, whenever, you know, that's when I gotta change the oil on Big Red. You know, from what it says in my book, I have to do it every 500 miles. So, that's under the maintenance section. So, but yeah, and then of course this is the oil that I run through Big Red. This stuff obviously probably won't work in your machine. Plus, you don't have a Polaris. So, of course, on the other side, it's got the the non-English. This is the English side. I bought this oil right here off eBay. I normally go to my dealer and I get it, but I don't. Like I said, I don't really want to do business with him because I think he's kind of a dick. So I don't really want to do too much business with him. You know, unless I absolutely have to. But for oil wise, I'm probably just going to try to get it on eBay if I can. So, but I guess, you know, when it comes time to order oil again, I'll see if I can get it on eBay, and if not, I'm sure I could get it from another website. So, because I don't really want to do business with this guy. He's kind of a dick and stuff. So, you know, and when I first owned Big Red, when I first bought Big Red, I thought he was having a belt problem. I think I told this story a couple years ago, but I didn't have that many subscribers, so I don't think anyone really seen that video. But the belt drive thing is inside there. When you would work the hell out of Big Red, you'd start getting like a grinding noise or a squeaky noise and stuff, which is probably was a bad idea to do to him when he was, you know, brand new. I don't think he was even through his break-in period yet, but whatever. But like I said, I had that squeaking thing going on, and I called him up and I was like, "Well, what the hell, you know?" And he said he would stop by. It was under warranty, so the warranty would have paid for it. But he took it apart and he said he couldn't find nothing wrong. And to this day, it still kind of does it. So I kind of wonder if maybe it's just not the way that belt is, or that belt drive system. But I didn't think it was supposed to do that, so it kind of made me kind of wonder, you know. But I mean, if it really was a problem, it probably would have broke by now, and it's still going. So whatever. I don't know if your machine does that or not, but you get kind of like that squeaky grinding kind of noise. And you know, and that day that we the day that he came down, he drove it around a little bit. He couldn't get it to squeak. So I drove it around, beat the crap out of it, tried to make it squeak, and it wouldn't squeak for some reason. Every time he called the dealers, you know, then everything works just fine, you know, like, really? You know, and what's funny is that I've never called my dealer about this tractor, the John Deere. Never had a problem with it, you know. It seems to be, you know, like, it acts kind of funny now, but maybe it's just because, you know, it's, you know, it's got some hours on it now, you know, so. The floorboards vibrate more than they used to. The steering wheel vibrates more than it should. Something that John Deere needs to redesign are these levers. Because when the tractor idles, these vibrate and it's annoying. But that's, you know, and then I got that squeaking that's going on with that deck that I can't stop unless I, you know, throw some grease on it or something. But that's that lift arm hitting the rear steering rods. So, you know. But that's just the way John Deere designed her. So, but you know, I mean, I've never called John Deere about this tractor. You know, so it just kind of makes me wonder about Polaris. But I didn't realize that that's what it was going to do. I mean, if the guy, I guess, would have, I mean, they're not going to tell you that kind of stuff, obviously, you know. But back then I was a little bit, you know, more stupider, and I didn't understand machines very well. But since, you know, I'm a little older now, I understand more about them. You know, now I just, you know, it's not a big deal now. But, you know, it's, you know, I mean, you pay what, 11, 12 grand for a machine. You expect it to work for, you know, many years without a problem. And the John Deere's been going pretty good, you know, besides those few little minor problems. But, you know, once they break, then that's when you call. But, you know, another thing is too with Polaris, I think it was even the 2010 models, there gets to be movement in these handlebars. Not like this. This is normal because of steering, but you can push it. I don't know if I'll be able to show you this or not. Probably not. I'll have to jack you guys up. I will try this and see if I can jack you up a little bit. I'll probably jack you up too much. You guys just have to stand there long enough to see this. So watch the whole thing now. I don't know if you can see that movement or not in her. Not so much sideways, but it's going this way, right? Like I said, I don't know if you guys can see that movement or not, but yeah, like I said, I don't know if you guys could see that or not, but apparently that's a sign of defective bearings or something in the steering. So they had kind of like a recall going on for some certain four-wheelers, but like I said, I can't remember if the 2010 models were in that or not. But I think that they are, because now I'm getting that sloppy feeling in there. But, you know, I guess it's not like a major deal. But, you know, it's just the point that if it's defective, I should have gotten it fixed. But I couldn't remember if it was for 2010 or not. I guess if they ever have a recall again, I'll make sure and see. Even if it is, then they can take a look at it. I don't think I have to pay for it, even regardless if the machine has warranty or not. Is the point that Polaris sold a defective machine, so that, you know, I was obviously that they would pay for it. It was the same thing with, you know, with my sister's Ion. It didn't have warranty, but they were still having recalls on it for defective airbag deployment and stuff. So, but her car never got in. So, not with the blown engine, it wasn't worth it. So, but I know, boys, I got some good news. Makes me kind of jealous, but hey, whatever. Polaris came out with their new ATVs, the new Sportsmans. They are no longer making 850s, but they made a 550, or not a 550. They already got the 550s up. The 570s, and that's a Sportsman. The 570s and the Sportsman OS 1000s. Let me tell you about the 1000s. Holy shit. 88 horsepower. I'm only pushing 70. And then I think the newer, like this is for 2015, I think. 2014, 2013 Polaris 850s, they made 77 horsepower. So, holy shit. You know, I mean, what the hell would I do with 88 horsepower? You know, that's... I don't understand what it is with machines, you know, that they make all this horsepower, and I don't really know what to do with it, you know. I mean, hell, I would love a brand new ATV, because then I would love to, you know, deck it out and crap, but, and then just keep Big Red for a workhorse. But, you know, really, Big Red's got 70 horses, and I'm not even sure what the hell to do with it all. I'm pretty sure most of it gets used when I pull that cultivator, but I didn't get a chance to pull it much this year, so. But, wow. They didn't really change much of the design on them. They still look pretty much the same as kind of what, you know, that's obviously what Big Red does. I haven't noticed that, though, that they have this kind of a gauge. See, this is all digital, or whatever you call it. Well, they just have the regular or whatever, it's just got numbers and a needle on it, kind of like your car, right? So, I don't really care for that too much. I'd rather have a digital one like what Bigger Ed's got. So, and the thing too is I'm kind of glad I got it Big Red in this color because this background almost matches the same. This is a little bit more redder, but I love that gauge. I love that setup. Apparently they can get kind of defective after a while too, I guess. But whatever. I'm just gonna drive on with it. So I kind of wish they would have done the same thing with the tractor too. That would have been badass. But whatever. It don't matter. So, but yeah. Anyways, kind of got off my thought here, but yeah, you just when you want to change your oils, you just got to do by what the book tells you. And if you don't have a book, you can just call your dealer. Like if you don't have a book for like your tractor, you could just call John Deere and they would tell you. So you don't really have to go by the miles or the hours or whatever. You can just do it like once a year. I do it. I'm probably nowhere even close to 500 miles a year, but I just do it because then I don't have to worry about blowing something up, So, but it's weird too because I always find my oil black by July. But I put a lot of hours on it, but I don't put a lot of miles. See, the thing is I plow snow, and I'm not really putting miles on. Then I'm just putting hours on. That's what I love about what Polaris did here. Of course, John Deere doesn't have nothing to do with it, but these four-wheelers, see, I can go by hours, and I can go by miles. So it's whatever So the hours is just for the motor, and I think the miles is for everything else. I guess I don't know. It's probably for the motor too, but that's just what I like. And with John Deere tractors, they always just do hours. Because some people might even just use the PTO for like a generator. The tractor's not really moving, so you don't need miles. You just need hours. So, but hey, whatever. As long as you got an hour meter or a mile meter on it, whatever, you'll be all right. I'm not sure how many hours you got on your tractor, but you probably might want to change the oil in it. I don't know if you guys do that or not, but you might want to. And the same thing with your hydraulic oil too. Change it. I'm gonna probably do that every couple of years, every 3 years or something, because I don't really find it necessary because for one, I'm not really working the hell out of my hydros, out of my hydraulics. The deck ain't nothing, and I'm just mowing. I'm not pulling heavy loads. I'm not, pulling a disc or anything like that to make my transmission work that hard, So I didn't change it this year, but I think last year I changed the hydraulic oil. And you have to remember this too, Double Strike. Your hydraulic oil does everything besides the engine. The hydraulic does your steering, does your pedals for forward and reverse, and it does your obviously your hydraulic remotes and your up and down for your mower deck, which are still on the same, your same valves, but everything's hydraulic. Like I said, your steering, your deck, up and down. I got four-wheel steer, so it takes even more hydraulic. Your pedals, your remotes, and then of course your remotes down there are your plug-ins or your quick couplers, which I've still never used those couplers. It's kind of a shame, but whatever. I guess whenever I decide to get into that trailer project, making that hydraulic dump trailer, then that's when I'll get some use out of them, but or unless I put a blower on it, but I don't know if I'll ever do that either. So, but whatever. So, I would change your hydraulic oil. You can do it for whatever the fuck the book tells you, but I'm just gonna do it maybe every 2-3 years. See, another thing too, Double Strike, you'd probably do a lot. Well, see, you're always tilling or mowing or snow blowing or whatever the hell you do with your tractor. So you probably might want to do yours every year. I just mow, and I pull that little trailer sometimes. So I'm just going to do mine every couple of years or every 3 years. You know, the hell with it. But I do recommend you changing your oils. Change your motherfucking filters too, because I'm a dumbass and I never did. My hydraulic oil filter, you're not going to be able to see it, but it's back there somewhere. I forgot to get one when I got my oil. So I'm using, that's the original filter from when I bought it. But I'm going to replace it next time I do it, because last time I forgot. And believe it or not, I think that's actually a little bit bigger. I think it's actually a lot bigger than my engine oil filter. It's just the tiniest little thing ever for the motor. You know, obviously you know you got probably almost the same motor as me, so yeah, I do have to mow. I'm gonna probably try to mow tomorrow if I can. So, but yeah, I do apologize for a super long video. But I don't know if this was any helpful to you or not. Probably not. But I'm just telling you how I was doing it. And as long as you change your oils, you know, by what the book tells you, or if you just want to do it once a year, you can. Like I said, I just do my. Another thing is too, don't forget to change your gear case oil and your transmission oils. I did the gear cases, like the rear axles and everything, last year, but I haven't done it. Well, like it was like maybe 3 years or almost 4 years that I never even did it. I didn't even know you had to. So until I read the book, and then the book said yeah. So I changed that. I think it was pretty black, but she had a lot of crap in her too, so it was a pretty damn good thing I changed it. You might want to do a flush on that too. Just do a flush on everything, even with your antifreeze. It says in the book too how often to change your antifreeze. I kind of wanted to do it, but I know Mossman was saying that you don't have to unless it's dirty, but I would rather just do it anyway. And you know, and then you could do a flush too if you wanted to, but that's kind of, it might just end up going all over the place. So, but yeah, so just I got a dead bug on my hood. Get off. So yeah, that's just what I would do. Double Strike is just make sure you change your oils once a year. You know, your tractor hydraulic oil maybe every couple of years. Maybe you might want to do yours every year. I don't know. Just read your book. Your book's probably the same as mine. You know, you just have an older model tractor than me, so you know, I don't think there's much of a difference between the X500s and the X700s. I don't think there's much of a difference. Just, you know, it's a newer model. And, you know, I mean, if you looked at my tractor compared to his, you wouldn't really tell a difference besides mine's four-wheel steering. His isn't. I got a front brush guard. He don't, you know. He's got a 3-point hitch. I don't, you know. So, you know. In other words, it's pretty much the same. Well, he's got different rubber than me, too. I got turfs. He's got more of the grippier kind of turfs. Double Strike, I still kind of recommend you to get one of these. I know I told you this last year, but a suicide knob or a spinner knob. I got this. You can go to your John Deere dealer; they would probably have them, but I got that on eBay. They got millions of different kinds. So if you just punch in spinner knobs or suicide knobs, you know, you'll find something to your liking. That's what I liked. You can get used ones too, but I don't really recommend used ones because you don't know how they've been treated. So, just, you know, spend the extra money and get a brand new one, and then you'll be fine, right? So, like I said, Double Strike, I don't know if this video's been any help to you or not, but this is just what I do with Big Red. I change my oils once a year. I know that his rad needs to be blown out. They say to blow them from the back side. Kind of impossible if you tell me, because everything's in the fucking way, but I'll figure it out. It's gonna definitely need a blow one before winter. The tractor's rad, piece of fucking cake, but there's some reason for Big Red, it's always hard to, well, I kind of got the fan. Well, that wouldn't be too bad. I don't know. I'm gonna do it before winter anyway. Um, I don't know if you guys want me to do another, like, a maintenance video to Big Red this fall or not. Of course, I gotta do them every year. You know, grease them up, blow his air filter out. You know, check tire pressure. You know, I mean, if you guys want me to do another, I know I did a video on that last year. If you guys want me to do another one, let me know, and I can. I don't know if I was supposed to do a. Oh, yeah, I did it. I did do a maintenance video to the John Deere. So there won't be any more of that now until next year, because I want to do that once a year. And he won't be getting greased anymore. Big Red, I'm going to grease Big Red one more time before fall. Right before winter, just so I have a little extra bit of grease in there and I know it's fresh stuff. So, because I don't think grease is supposed to get sticky. Well, it's always sticky, but I don't think it'll get stiff. Because, well, it never does, but hell, you never know, right? So, but, yeah. So, yeah, another thing too, Double Strike, this is something that I know I should be doing. This is probably something you should be doing too. It says in the book for the John Deere, it says you're supposed to check tire torque, which are the bolts, or the lug nuts, whatever the hell they call them nowadays. But you see all those bolts in there. Man, I got a lot of bolts too. Ooh, mama. It's a good thing I don't have the 8 bolts, right? Holy shit, would that be bad. The big fuel chargers have fucking 8 bolts, if not more. How many this has got? This has got 1, 2. It's got 5 bolts on the back and just 1 for the front tires. But I think they recommend like after 50 hours or 100 hours, you're supposed to check torqueness on them. I haven't done it yet, and they haven't popped off. One is for Big Red. Well, I popped that one off because I blew it twice. No, actually just once. The first time it got stabbed, but for some reason it didn't pop. And then the second time I popped it. And I almost killed myself on the plow. I don't remember what tire it was. Well, I know that I popped this tire off to get to that damn belt drive. It was a disaster. I think it was this tire over here that took a beating twice. The first time it just stabbed the sidewalls and never popped. Second time it went clean through. But what was nice about that company that was here on North Dakota side, well, they did repairs, you know, and stuff too, but they also did patch jobs. So they put a patch in my tire, and they did one hell of a fucking good job because that patch is still holding up. And I did that, what, 2 years ago? And that patch is still holding. So, but once you know, they're not here anymore. So once I blow a tire, I'm just gonna have to go get a whole brand new one, or try to find a company that will patch it for me. Because it's cheaper to patch them than it is to buy new ones. I mean, the tires on the back are going to have to be replaced eventually, but you might as well get maximum life out of them. So, but hey, you know, whatever. Oh yeah, so like I said, that was right. I don't know if this video's been anything helpful to you. I do apologize if it's super long. But I really can't help it, so I guess just skip through it, you know, if you want to. I don't really give a damn what the hell you do. Just make sure you maintain your shit. That's all I can say. If you don't, you're going to regret it later on. So, but you guys must have changed your oil in your tractor and your four-wheelers, because I don't think they'd be running now if you didn't. So, or if they were, they'd probably have a hard time running because the oil would be so stiff. Yeah, and I know 1 year or two I accidentally put thin oil in the tractor. Thin oil is what you want for the wintertime. Which is maybe something you should try to do, is put some thin oil in your tractor. I guess the thin oil doesn't freeze, I guess, as much. It doesn't get as stiff. So when you start the tractor, it doesn't have to work so hard to get it going. Maybe, you know, see, but then there you'd have to change the oil twice a year, because you'd have to put, obviously, the thin oil in for the wintertime, and then take it out for the summer, and then put in just regular oil. I don't have to do it with my machines because, for one, I only run the John Deere once, well, in the summertime. And Big Red, well, his oil can work, you know, for all seasons, so it don't matter for that. But Um, but one summer I did put thin oil in by mistake, and it, that oil is just not, it's not recommended for high temperatures. Like if it got like 110 outside, you can't run it. But I don't plan on running my machines at 110 degrees. If it's that hot out, I'm not even going to be outside. You know, fuck that shit. I'm not going to melt, you know, fuck it. So, but yeah. And I think another thing too, you know, I don't want to kind of get bossy again, but Double Strike, I really think you guys need to sharpen your blades. I know, I just, you know, you only have to do it once a year anyway. I probably should be doing it twice a year, but I don't. You know, I think once a year is good enough. You know, just get a, you know, get an angle grinder, or you can get a hand file and do it by hand. You know, however you guys want to do it. Just sharpen them. You know, it's good enough. It's not like you got to do it like 3 times a year. You know, it's only a 1-time deal or 2-time deal. You know. I kind of do a lot of mowing, but then in a way I don't do a lot of mowing, so I only do it once a year. Usually by October or so, the blades are probably dull again. Well, they probably get dull within probably a few hours, but, you know, I just drive on with it, so. But, you know, a Double Strike, I bet you if you sharpened your blades, you wouldn't be running her at full throttle, because you'd be like, oh my god, I'm overspinning everything. Because I've done that. I've, you know, gotten a little cocky one year, and I just gave it too much power, and then the blades were like, oh, I'm going to fall off. You know, it's like, holy shit. Everything was just shaking because it's too much speed for it, so. Because you don't need full power for cutting grass. You know, unless you're brush hogging, but, you know, I haven't done any brush hogging in years. So, see, I'll show you here quick before I cut this video off. This throttle that I give it, I don't break the throttle cable. Let's see, it gets a little stick sometimes, but that's probably about as far as I'll run it. You know. And it, well, probably not even that. Well, yeah, probably about that. That's not wide open. That's wide open. That's what Double Strike's doing. And I just don't think it's, I mean, I know he has to do it because his blades are dull. But I just don't think it's necessary. But what can you do if they're dull? So, you know, just try to sharpen them once a year, and hell, you'll be fine. So, and of course, don't forget to give your machines a bath every once in a while and get the old dirt off them. See, this tractor needs a bath. I don't know if you can really see it, but it was so dusty that one day. I was like, you know, the hell with it. And plus, I got to mow again tomorrow, so I'll try to mow tomorrow if I feel like it. You know, I got to gas it up too. I got just a little, almost empty. And you guys probably should get your gas gauge working again too. I'm sure you guys are getting sick. Look how dusty that is, eh? Holy shit. I'm sure you guys are getting tired of guessing how much fuel you got in there. So, yeah, another thing too is I think your PTO switch is kind of wore out. There's no color left to it, I don't think, but you don't really need to have it replaced. But if you wanted to keep your machines nice looking, you could. Don't really use cruise control a lot. So, my headlights all still work. So, alright, it's pretty good for a John Deere. Well, it's still like a 2520, but you know, the hell with it. So, I'm still going to keep this thing for a mower, because I need a small mower. And I know Savage tomorrow's telling me about these home loan kind of deals or whatever the hell it was. Apparently I can get one because I don't owe anything on my house, but, you know, he was just telling me, I think that's what he was telling me that's part of what I should do so I can get the door fixed or get a new one. He said just to take out what you need and not any more than that, not to get cocky with it, so I don't think I'm going to do it, just because I don't think I need to. So, I don't really know if I would be able to. I mean, apparently he says I could since I don't own anything on my house, but I kind of wonder if they just don't check your credit too. Whatever. So, I mean, really all I would need is probably like $3 grand. That's really all I need. You know, $2,200 for the door and just a little bit extra so I can pay off a bill or something, you know. So, but whatever. Anyway, guys, I'm going to take off. I know this video's going to be over an hour, so I do apologize. So, yeah. And I still kind of wish that they would allow you to put a third remote in. Did you know that they actually, I think I told you guys this before, they actually make mini round balers. For anything I can get one that, you know, I can run on this machine. See, my tractor's only 21 PTO. It's 25 on the 2000, but on the 540 it's 21. They make PT or balers that are like for like 18 horsepower. I think, you know, which is, you know, pretty good. So, of course, you got to pull it with the 3-point hitch, and I let it have a drawbar one because I kind of would like a mini round baler too, because I can bale up some extra hay and stuff too, you know, for you know, for the hell of it and stuff. I think it'd be cool to kind of just, you know, just picture it. Mini round baling with the old Johnny. You know, you got that 3-point hitch baler going on back there. Holy shit, you'd be fucking, you know. Yeah, I'm not paying a lot for that though. Jeez, I think they wanted like 5-10 grand for it. Well, I think that was for the one that was rated for 25 horsepower. That's actually can be pulled by the drawbar. And see, at the time I was thinking that this truck just 25 horsepower on both PTOs, but I guess not. It's only on the mid PTO or just the engine itself. The 540 PTO, it's 21 horsepower, which is, you know, still not bad, but if it would have been 25, it would have been alright. But see, then there you got to get a diesel to overcome that. So the 2520 could run that no problem, but whatever. I'm just blabbering on about shit you guys don't care about, so I'm probably going to cut her off, and it's got to be almost 10 o'clock. My friend's going to come back on. We're going to make a video. I might be doing a GTA vid pretty soon. He wants to do a welcome back video because he hasn't been around for a while. So we've been playing, you know, the last month, but we just never got around to making a video. So I might be doing a gaming vid. I haven't done one for a couple of months or so. Whenever the last time I did was farming simulators. So if he decides to do one later on tonight, we will. And then you guys will be seeing a gaming vid. So, but whatever. I don't know what's squeaking. That's the brake pedal, but probably needs WD-40. That would probably solve the problem. I wonder where that goes underneath the tractor. Should have looked at that when I had the deck off. Son of a bitch, I have to wait till next year now. Because I'm not pulling it off just for that. Oh, we'll have to pull her off again next year to sharpen the blades. So I'll take a look, and maybe it probably just needs the WD-40. So, but anyway, guys, I'm gonna take off. I do apologize for a 1-hour video. I hate doing that stuff, but you know, I guess I just can't stop talking. So, whatever. So, like I said, I don't know if this video is any good, any help to you or not, but that's just what I do. That's just what I do to maintain my stuff, and oil and grease figurehead and tractor. I just do it once a year and that's it. So, I don't know. What I want to see too, Double Strike, is how bright your headlights are. Tonight, well, not tonight, well, whenever you see this video. See, I think you only got the dual headlights. I got triples on Big Red. See, there's one down there, one over there, and then one up there. That's the high beam. The low beams are down there. Go out sometime at night when it's pitch black out and flip your lights on. We're going to do a comparison. See, now you probably have the same lights as me, which are just stock bulbs. I know I can get LEDs, and I can get those blue neon or blue, whatever the hell they are. They're supposed to be clear white and 50% brighter than stock bulbs. So I kind of want to give. I don't have those blue bulbs yet, but I do have these stock ones here. But man, are they ever fucking bright! Especially if you're up on top of a hill, you know, you can really see far. But usually when I just even when I plow at night, the area in front of me is just lit up. But it sucks because it's not down on the plow where it needs to be. It's all out on the road or on the lawn or something where it doesn't really need to be. But at least I know there won't be nothing. I can see what's in front of me. But I need that kind of lights on the back too, right? So that's why I made that light video a couple months ago. But everyone was saying not to really do that because it was too much. You know, it's $300 for a light. So whatever. I haven't even done the wiring. I haven't even gotten lights for Big Red yet. But I got too many other problems. So maybe next year we'll work on her. So anyways, guys, I'm going to take off. I know this video is going to be in over an hour. So I guess you guys can just kind of skip through it if you want. You know, if you got an hour to spare, then watch a whole entire hour video. I usually really don't either. I just kind of skip through it. But that's if I know it's going to be a boring video. If I know it's going to be some kicking ass and some mowing, you know, then I'll be alright. I'll watch the whole thing. But if it's going to be yapping like this one is, you know, the hell with it then. You know, I'll skip through it. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to take off. I guess have a good day and stuff. So, yeah. So, yeah, I guess have a good day, guys. See you guys later.
Mm-hmm.